Joining us on the line now, the new men's basketball coach for the JMU Dukes, Mark Byington. Coach, first of all, how are you doing? I hope you and your family are safe during this pretty rough time for everyone out there.
Yeah, we are safe, and obviously we're praying for everybody going through difficult times right now. And whether it's the virus or economy, it's scary times, but we'll all stick together and we'll get through it.
Absolutely. And Coach, obviously we're in an unprecedented situation with this COVID-19 pandemic. How are you reaching out to your players to get to know them and build relationships? I mean, it's got to be a situation that you definitely didn't plan out necessarily. You know, you probably wanted to have the introductory press conference, get to know the community, and yet, you know, we're kind of all in our homes right now.
Yeah, you just mentioned kind of the typical steps when you take over a job. And, you know, the first thing you do is a team meeting. And then you do the press conference and then individual meetings, and then you work out your players and you hit the road and go recruiting. Well, I haven't been able to do any of those things. You know, my press conference took place over the phone, and my meetings with the guys have either been FaceTime or we've had team meetings virtually with the WebEx, and it's just unusual. It really is. But you know, the reception I've got from the guys have been great. The community's been really supportive. The athletic department's been super supportive. So, you know, even though it has been a difficult time just kind of taking over in these circumstances, we're still making a lot of progress.
And, Coach, getting to know your background a little bit, you said in your introductory press conference, first of all, growing up in Salem, Virginia, right nearby, that you wanted to play for Lefty Driesell and JMU back in the day. So, you know, 25 years later, what does it feel like knowing you will now be coaching the Dukes?
Yeah, I was recruited by about every school in the state of Virginia except for JMU. And it was unusual. My brother went to school here. My sister-in-law went to school at James Madison. And I visited my brother all the time when he was 10 years older than me all the time when I was growing up, and just loved it. And it probably wouldn't have been that hard of a recruitment if they would have came after me. But Lefty must not thought I was good enough. And but it's great to be back in Virginia. It is it's a special place. You know, the community is so supportive of athletics. There's such a success in the athletic department and all across. And it's time the basketball program is a part of that.
Now, you didn't play for JMU, but you do have history in the CAA. You went over to UNCW and played for another legendary coach, and Jerry Wainwright. What was his influence on you, and what are some of your favorite memories of playing in the CAA?
Yeah, you know, the CAA is a great basketball conference. And people don't understand the passion that, you know, each of the universities has. Now, when I played, it was different. You know, the CAA has added different teams and really, you know, stayed strong throughout the number of years, even with additions or subtractions or whatever else. But, you know, Coach Wainwright was a huge influence on me. And I really wasn't somebody who grew up wanting to be a basketball coach. And it kind of came to me later on. But the influence that he made on me and the rest of the guys that were my teammates beyond basketball was just something I wanted to do. And he taught us so much about life, about being men, about real world responsibilities and what it's going to be like. You know, there are messages that I want to give to players, not just trying to have them, you know, run great basketball, do great basketball things. The off court stuff and the life skill stuff was really huge for Coach Wainwright. And, you know, hopefully I'm doing that with my guys.
And now that we've spoke about Lefty Driesell and Coach Jerry Wainwright as, you know, kind of some of the people you looked up to and influences as a player, now as a coach and during your coaching career, who has been the biggest influence on you during this time as a coach?
Yeah, you pick up a lot of things as you kind of go along. Sometimes it's somebody that you worked under or worked for or played for, and other times it's an opponent. And you see somebody who does a great job with their program. You try to emulate some of the things they're doing. But, you know, Coach Wainwright was great. My high school coach was great. Charlie Morgan was really, really good. And he ran our high school like a college. Great basketball mind. You know, then, you know, I get through. Pete Gillen was great when I was at Virginia. I learned a ton from him. He's, you know, just as witty and taught me what it's like to be around everyday life in basketball. Bobby Crimmins, I was with for 7 years at College of Charleston, and you know, just helped me grow into being a head coach. Gave me a lot of responsibility, let me make mistakes, you know, let me kind of figure out my niche, but then guided me along the way. So, I've had some good ones, and, I kind of pick up different pieces from everybody, and it kind of makes who you are.
Coach, the first thing you spoke about how at Georgia Southern you had to change the culture. How do you go about doing that?
Yeah, so at Georgia Southern, I took over a program, had 7 straight losing seasons, and it had a lot more potential, but culture is about people, and it doesn't make a difference if you have the most beautiful arena in the country, which we got one of them coming here, but you got to have the right people, the right players, the right support staff. And we have a lot of that in place right now. And, to be able to compete the CAA, you got to have, go at a high level. And, some of these teams are really talented. All these teams are well coached. So, we got to catch up in some areas, but just kind of establishing a solid foundation and then keep building it from there.
From an X's and O's standpoint, Coach, what should fans look forward to with your coaching style without giving too much away, of course?
Yeah, I'm going to have to adjust some, but I want to see what the guys look like. So, we want to play fast. My teams at Georgia Southern, we're top 20, top 25 in the country in pace of play. And that's the way I want to play. I think guys want to play that way. Recruits like it. So we're going to get up and down the court. Defensively, we're going to be prepared. And we're going to adjust. We got to get physical. We don't want to beat ourselves. I'm really big on not giving the ball away on foolish turnovers, and just kind of get into situations in the game where guys are understanding they're going to believe they're going to win. And it goes back to some culture things you talked about, but just you got to have some success, some guys who kind of go to adversity and overcome it to really believe they're going to be able to do that.
Wrapping up today with the new men's basketball coach for the JMU Dukes, Mark Byington. Coach, last question for you. When you look at James Madison, what makes it a big-time program in your words?
Well, the word you used, I think, is accurate. I think it's a big-time program. And the facilities that we're building right now, the Atlantic Union Bank Center, it's opening in November. It's incredible. It's it's one of the nicest in the country. And, with the passionate fan base, I know about that growing up an hour and a half from here. I've seen the Electric Zoo, 23,000 at football games, and the women's basketball is great and softball great. And all these sports are doing a great job. So the infrastructure is here. And if you ever step foot on the campus at James Madison, you'll see how beautiful the campus is. It's gorgeous and just a student body. So there's no negatives about the place. You get a great education, passionate fan base, great facilities about people who care. And it just comes a time right now we just got to, just build something that has some success and keep going forward with it.
Coach Byington, thank you so much for joining us today. Stay healthy, stay safe, and good luck as you begin your tenure with the JMU Dukes.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.